She picked up Caleb's buzzing phone, her fingers trembling. "Ray, I miss the way you taste. Last night was..." Her breath caught. Hundreds of messages, photos, promises. "You're the only one who really gets me. When are you going to leave her?" "Soon, baby. She's just so fucking dramatic." And then, the sound of the shower stopping. Footsteps. The bathroom door creaked open.
Venomous devotion. The first time Lena noticed the shift, she was washing dishes. Caleb's voice carried that new edge, the one that sliced through her confidence like a cold knife. "You loaded the dishwasher wrong again," he said, sighing as if her incompetence was an affliction he had to bear. "How many times do I have to show you?" She remembered when he used to wrap his arms around her waist while she stood at this sink. Now, he couldn't even look at her when he spoke. "Sorry," she whispered, the word worn threadbare from overuse. 4 years together, and suddenly she couldn't do anything right. The way she laughed was too loud. The way she dressed was too much. The stories she told at dinner parties went on too long. Her friends were annoying. Her dreams were unrealistic. That night, as rain streaked the bedroom window, Lena stared at Caleb's sleeping form and wondered what had happened to the man who once told her she hung the moon. By spring, Lena had become a ghost in her own life, haunting the edges of rooms where Caleb held court. Sex had become transactional, mechanical, when it happened at all. After, he would turn away, tapping at his phone in the blue light of midnight secrets. "Do you still love me?" she asked one night, her voice small in the vastness between them. Caleb's irritation flashed immediately. "Jesus, Lena, why do you always need reassurance? It's exhausting." The question hung unanswered as he left for work early the next morning. She found herself checking his shirts for perfume, his credit card statements for unexplained charges. Nothing. Just the steady drip of his contempt, water torture on her soul. "Maybe it's me," she confided to her sister over coffee. "Maybe I'm just too much." Her sister's face hardened. "Or maybe he's a dick who's making you feel crazy because it's easier than being honest." Lena defended him reflexively. After all, relationships changed. People changed. Maybe this was normal. The truth arrived on a Tuesday night when Caleb was in the shower. His phone buzzed on the coffee table. A preview notification. "Ray, I miss the way you taste. Last night was..." Lena's fingers trembled as she picked up the device. His password, her birthday, ironically, unlocked hundreds of messages going back 3 months. Photos, plans, promises. "You're the only one who really gets me. When are you gonna leave her?" "Soon, baby. She's just so fucking dramatic about everything. I need to ease out or she'll fall apart." Lena sat motionless as the shower stopped running. When Caleb emerged, towel around his waist, her stillness must have triggered some primal warning. His eyes darted to the phone in her hand. "So I'm dramatic?" Her voice was eerily calm. "I'll fall apart? Lena, all this time, making me feel like I was losing my mind, like I was the problem. It was just because you didn't have the balls to leave?" His face transformed, shifting from shock to the familiar contempt. "See, this is exactly what I mean. You're overreacting." Something crystallized in her chest. Not pain, but clarity. Razor sharp and cold. "Get out," she said. "This is my apartment too." Get out. When the door slammed behind him, Lena didn't cry. Instead, she poured herself a glass of wine and began to plan. 3 days later, Caleb moved back in. Lena had called him, voice cracking with practiced vulnerability. "I want to work through this," she'd said. "I love you. We can fix this." He agreed too quickly, relieved at the easy forgiveness. That night, he held her with unfamiliar tenderness, whispering apologies that tasted like ash on her tongue. Lena's revenge unfolded slowly, meticulously. She learned Ray's schedule, discovered that the woman truly believed Caleb was separating from a complicated situation. She found the weaknesses in Caleb's carefully constructed life and began applying pressure. First, she befriended his boss's wife at a company function, casually mentioning Caleb's ambitions to leave for a competitor. She forwarded screenshots of his messages with Ray to his deeply religious parents, then comforted him when they called, horrified. "They'll come around," she soothed, stroking his hair while something cold flickered in her eyes. She accidentally used his credit card for extravagant purchases, then feigned confusion when collection calls began. She subtly suggested to mutual friends that she was worried about his drinking, his temper, his stability, all while playing the devoted girlfriend trying to save their relationship. Watching him unravel brought a hollow satisfaction. The confusion in his eyes when his promotion was passed over, the panic when Ray started questioning his stories, the isolation as friends began to distance themselves. She was dismantling him piece by piece, just as he had done to her. On a stormy Friday evening, 6 weeks into her campaign, Lena came home to find Caleb sitting in darkness. "Ray broke up with me," he said flatly. "She showed me your texts." Lena froze. "My texts? The ones where you pretended to be me, telling her it was all a game, that I was just using her." She hadn't expected this particular thread to unravel so quickly. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Stop." His voice cracked. "Just stop. I know what you've been doing. All of it." Rain lashed against the windows as they stared at each other across the shadowed room. "You destroyed me," she finally said. "Made me question my sanity, my worth. You couldn't even be honest about wanting out." "So this was what? Justice?" He looked hollowed out, defeated. For the first time since she'd known him, Caleb seemed small. "I wanted you to feel what I felt." The words tasted bitter, confused, humiliated, worthless. He nodded slowly. "Congratulations, mission accomplished." When he left that night, bags packed and shoulders slumped, Lena felt no triumph, just a vast, echoing emptiness where vengeance had lived. 3 months later, Lena sat in her therapist's office, turning a tissue between her fingers. "I became someone I never thought I could be," she said quietly. "Trauma changes us," her therapist replied, "but it doesn't have to define us forever." Lena thought about the woman she'd been before Caleb, before the gaslighting shredded her self-trust, before revenge replaced her broken heart with something colder and sharper. "I saw him yesterday," she admitted, "at the coffee shop. He looked destroyed." "And how did that make you feel?" Lena stared out the window at the clearing sky. Nothing, then everything. Sad, guilty, relieved. She paused. "I don't regret leaving him. I regret becoming him." Outside, sunlight broke through clouds for the first time in days. Lena watched the golden rays illuminate dust motes in the air, tiny universes spinning in the light. "The thing about poisoning someone else," she said softly, "is that you have to hold the poison in your hands first." Her therapist leaned forward. "And now?" "Now I'm learning to set it down." As she left the office, stepping into the fragile warmth of an early spring day, Lena felt something unfurling in her chest. Not forgiveness, not yet, but possibility. The chance that one day the person she had been and the person she had become might find peace with each other. She pulled out her phone and deleted Caleb's number. Some toxins needed to be flushed completely from the system. The breeze carried the scent of rain-washed earth and new growth as she walked home alone, her shadow stretching long but solid behind her.
If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications.